welcome back to Panic Butter. Today, we got some creepy, some strange and mysterious. Antarctica, the moon, giants. What do we got? Where is it coming from? Where is it going to take us? What do you think about all this? If you get a chance, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Yo, what is that? That's kind of creepy looking, huh? That was pretty strange for sure. What do you think? Let's get to the next one.
Creepy videos on the internet I bet you can't last through.
Bring it on.
I really don't think I'm ever going to be able to listen to this shit. Listen to it. Listen to that pedaling.
And nothing.
Jesus. I mean, this is my whole closet right here.
Yeah, empty.
It's my kitchen.
Good looking.
And here we go with this shit again. We're just gonna wait and see how long it goes. It's never not. Stop!
Yeah, what would you do? That freak you out?
Okay, that works.
What if you were a...
Okay, so it seems to be wanting to happen now more in the afternoon, but just to prove that there's nothing there.
Yeah, it should be boxes have been packing up to move.
Jesus Christ. This is the cord in question, the coax cable, and you can see here it goes directly from here down to my Wi-Fi. So I could, I guess, open it like this, but one, I would probably be in the way of the camera here since I'm standing here, but let's try and test this.
Put it over the door.
Here's the door latched all the way shut. I mean, I'm pulling on that pretty hard and it doesn't come out. But if I were to do this and open it, that just kind of pulls the Wi-Fi back. So, I mean, if this cord was the thing that was pulling it, this probably would have knocked off, but I don't know. Yes, absolutely we can, because I think everyone is obsessed with this and the fact that I do not have it secured. But as you can see, this goes to my modem, and that is all. It's an old building, so in front of every apartment, they've had to drill holes and then feed these in through, all this to kind of update it. But this building was built in 1932, and if you can't tell, hasn't really been updated too much since 1932.
Interesting. Could it be coming from above? The apartment above? Huh. We'll never know. What are we up to next?
Hi, it's Kelly. I haven't been down here in a really long time, like a month or two. After what happened, I couldn't come down here, so... But my family's come down here a lot, and so has my brother, and they say they've seen nothing, and my brother, I made him look through every single room and everywhere, and there's nothing here, and I need to finish this video, so I'm doing it. So, this is a turning board, and I'm going to...
There it is. There it is.
Mom, is that? Why is this door opening? Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Mom, is that? Why is this door opening? Hello?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Noah?
Did you see it?
Yep.
Something was in the closet, right?
Absolutely.
Let's look at that part again.
Let's see.
And that's like, what in the heck is that? Ah, interesting. That's creep level 6, maybe 7. You know. What do we got next? Here we go.
These are things that humans should never hear. Okay, so have you heard of the Apollo 1 disaster? If not, the Apollo 1 was the first crewed mission of the Apollo program, and they were trying to be the first man on the moon. But on January 27, 1967, a fire swept through the Apollo 1 command module during a launch rehearsal test, tragically killing all 3 astronauts trapped inside. Gus Grissom is on the left, Ed White is in the middle, and Roger Schaeff is on the right. The video I'm about to show you is the audio from inside Apollo 1 while the fire is happening and all 3 of them are burning alive. The sounds of their screams is honestly sickening, and here it is.
Yeah, that was pretty heavy, huh? Kind of, wow. That's about all you can say there. Pretty intense hearing something like that and knowing what happened. Where are we going next? This is getting pretty good. What do you think?
นิ่งๆ
เอาลงมาให้เราลงมา
อุ้ย
ซูมดูเนี่ยนะ
แม่น
นั่น
ใครเอากล้องลงมาดูใคร
อุ้ยคือคนเลย
คนเลย
อุ้ยแม่
จริงนะน่ะใครลงมาเห็นน่ะน่ะแม่ลงบ้านเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยนี่ไงเฮ้ยมาดูนะเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยโอ้ยโอ้ยกี่ฟองให้โอ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยลงแล้ว
That's pretty interesting. I don't know about that. It's been a lot of that lately. Could it be that project, you know, the one that's going around? Or are they real? Been kind of seeing this kind of stuff everywhere. So something's going on. Where are we at next? This is pretty good. It's getting a lot better. Bring it on.
There are 4 different techniques and technologies that can pipe voices into an individual's head. And once you can do that, you can control them using neuro-linguistic programming techniques. You're rewiring their thought processes and brains. And so this gets into what's called offensive information warfare. And they used it, I believe, in the Gulf War to tell the enemy at that time, lay down your guns, this is Allah. And it worked pretty well, because hearing voices which have no direction or sound, you have to assume that it's some spiritual entity. So it works pretty well. And then, I don't know if I'm going to get into this, but there's something called hyper game theory. How do you, they want to see if they can manipulate people to do things that are irrational, but also walk them to their death. And so you can call it a eugenics program even. And they need to sample all cultures, language throughout the world to define their probability matrices of which tricks, techniques, deception works. So how do you control the brain? Most people don't believe that. Oh, you can't control me. I have my own free will. There's no way you can get to my soul. Well, sorry, that's not true. So these nanoparticles are activated under certain magnetic frequency and will alter the brain patterns and pathways. Recently, My school came out, Harvard came out with what you see here on the right slide is a magnified view of a needle that's injected into the brain and puts the scaffolding over the brain, and then it's read that way at a much finer resolution. So let's talk about a little bit about deciphering the audio and visual cortex. So researchers at the University of California, Berkeley have invented a brain decoder device that's able to work out what you're thinking based on neural activity inside of the brain. Now, they use mostly what's called functional MRIs. But you could use any of these technologies that I talked about. If you're reading text in a newspaper or book, you hear a voice in your own head. Usually, most people are reading kind of aloud in their own head. Well, they can read that, decipher the words that you were thinking to yourself. So there's another one, University of LA, maybe Stanford University. They are decoding visual images. So they train the person under a functional MRI, that's the standard technique, to look at images, and then they record them, and then they ask the person to imagine the object. It can also just be imaginary, and the computer will decipher the brain code, and so you're looking at a hammer, you're looking at a saw, that's a house, that's a cat. So the technology in the civilian sector is coming along.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Puts a whole new meaning onto they're hearing voices. That person's hearing voices in their head. Now, that might be real, huh? You might be able to dictate what they're gonna hear. Wow. What do you think about that? Let's see where we're at next.
There's some flooding today going on in San Diego. In fact, there's rain up and down the whole West Coast, even hitting here in Reno. Not this bad, just a sprinkle here, but there goes the car. That's San Diego. Someone's car is just gone. It's leaving. Man, this is nuts. I didn't even hear about this on the news. I had to look it up. What the heck is going on? Somebody's car just went right down in the sewer. Well, now it's a river. Man, there's a fire truck at least. I don't know what they can do to stop it. It's a flood, baby. It's a flood. Okay, like I said, it's raining all over the western part of the United States, California, Nevada, wherever. But San Diego is really getting hit. Really getting hit. I mean, you just saw it for yourself. And let's think about what's happened in just the past couple of months. We've had floods, obviously, fires, earthquakes, tornadoes, even volcanoes going off. Do I have to say it? Do I have to say it? Or can we all just come to this conclusion together? Yeah, something's happening. Okay, Booshkies, I'm going to let you put this all together for yourself, and I bet you get it right. Shabadoo!
Yeah, kind of weird, huh? It's raining like crazy here in Washington. What's happening where you are? Went through a few weeks of serious snow, super cold, back to the rain. Of course, it rains all the time. That's nothing unusual. Then, you gotta get on with life. Where are you at? What are you doing? Let's see what's up next. What is going on here? Oh, this looks interesting.
Why do you think it's gonna bubble? Because it bubbles when you put it on blood.
No, it bubbles when you put it on earwax.
It does?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Ah, shit, that's cold.
No.
Whoa!
Yeah, it came out. I told you.
What came out?
It's a fucking spider.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, look.
It's a spider? Oh, my God. Ah!
I told you that would come out. That's fucking disgusting. Oh, my Jesus Christ. That's fucking disgusting.
Oh,
shit. Let go of me. What if you have more bugs? I told you that would work.
Yeah, made your ears itch, didn't it? Caused you to stick your finger up there and kind of wiggle it around. Everybody's felt something in their ear. I bet it wasn't that, though. Let's see what's going on next. This is pretty good.
So I want to get into Antarctica.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You know, it really sparked my interest. I had, when we met at Dr. Greer's conference, you know, with Eric Hecker.
Yeah.
He talked about how Raytheon has a facility down there. I'd had people email in about this guy, Admiral Byrd, who was a famous explorer, World War II. World War II admiral. And had done a lot of exploring down there. And then, you know, the more I dig into this, it's just...
Yeah, it's a wild story.
It is. You know, we got in 1954, Admiral Byrd quoted, Antarctica in the future would become the most important place in the world for science.
Pretty important now.
Rockefeller was a big patron of Byrd's expeditions to the North Pole and the South Pole. Why do you think Admiral Byrd and the Rockefellers were so much more interested in Antarctica, the South Pole, rather than the North Pole, having been to both?
Well, you know, he had been to both. He had been to the North Pole in the 1920s, and he had seen that. But there is a situation that began to happen during World War II, where they discovered that the Nazis had went down to Antarctica and built a base down there, New Schwabenland. And they were like, wait a minute, why in the world would they go to this desolate place? What's down there that they would want to go and go through the harsh weather and risk everything, risk even their lives to be down there and build a base? So he decided to fly down there. Now, there's an incredible story that was in Admiral Byrd's diary that was found by his kids, where he said he flew into an area that opened up at Antarctica, and he went into an area where it was lush and tropical almost. And as he got into this area, this is according to his own diary, people can look this up, something took over his plane, and these two UFO-type craft, circular craft, flying saucers came, and it took over his craft, and it guided him in to this area where they landed. And then they took him to meet somebody that he calls in his diary the Master.
Sound like Star Trek.
Pretty interesting story. And according to this account, the Nazis had gotten help to create these craft called the Hanabu. They had 4 versions of this craft, these circular disc craft, from these people down there. But the guy, this Master, told him that they were wary of the nuclear bombs that had just, been utilized, dropped the nuclear on Japan and so forth, and they were wary of our experimentation with nuclear devices and wars because they're sharing this planet as well. Pretty interesting story. And so, all of a sudden, Admiral Byrd's going down there with a fleet, not just a small fleet. He took over 3,000 people with him. This was a huge expedition. It was a military expedition. When he got down there, they had a situation where some of these flying objects were attacking some of their ships and actually destroyed some of them. Sent him back home packing with his tail between his legs. This is one of the top admirals, literally the top admiral in the world at the time for the United States military. And he said that we have a new enemy that can fly from pole to pole with extreme speed. Why would he make a statement like that?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, these Nazi, they are rumored to have these craft, which some of the designs have been found, called Hanabu. And these Hanabu craft had the capability of utilizing a couple different forms of propulsion. One was jets, so they can take off vertically. They had little jets that would thrust and take off vertically, but then from there they can shoot off horizontally. Well, they were using a device that was spinning in the center of the craft, and what it appears to be is they began to copy technology from the ancient Indian Vedas, because Hitler was sending his people all around the world to get knowledge on ancient technology. That's how they found these people in Antarctica. He even sent people to Tibet, Nazis to Tibet, to talk to the people in Tibet to find out about this ancient technology. He found out about Vimanas, and these people supposedly in Antarctica helped him develop a couple of them, where they use a ferrofluid vortex engine. A ferrofluid is a liquid metal like mercury. And in the ancient Indian Vedas, if you take mercury and rotate it at a high rotation, a high RPM, and electrify it, you get something called anti-gravity. So he was utilizing something that had rotating discs underneath these round craft, according to eyewitness accounts, and also the schematics that were discovered during the collapse of Nazi Germany. And it's pretty interesting that I think besides the uranium that's down there in Antarctica, which obviously you know what uranium's used for, right? Nuclear power plants and also nuclear weapons. There's mountains of, Admiral Byrd said there were mountains of coal with no ice caps. No ice caps, his exact words. And I can give you a copy to this video. His own mouth is saying, no ice. Mountains of coal that can satisfy the world's need for coal for a very, very, very long time. Also, there's plutonium down there. Again, so uranium and plutonium, we know that if you have a high level of plutonium and uranium, it's one of the easier elements that you can separate the atoms. You can split atoms very easily, which makes it high use for weaponry and also power plants. So that's why the government wanted access down there. That's why the Germans wanted access down there. And that's why after Germany fell, we had Project Paperclip, where we took all the scientists from Germany that had learned all this wisdom and knowledge, and we brought them to America. People think Project Paperclip was just a small number of Nazis. We took over 2,000 Nazis with us and brought them to America and put them in positions of power over technology companies, the CIA, the space program at NASA, and so forth and so on. And we began to develop these technologies. So in a weird kind of way, America became the Fourth Reich, to be honest with you. And I know that they were developing at the time Hanabu number 4, which supposedly Hitler never got killed. He escaped in Hanabu number 4 to Argentina, which is very, very close to where? Antarctica. If you look at Google Sky right now on the computer and look down on Antarctica, you'll find bases from research bases from every major country in the world there. And you'll also find the Rockefeller Foundation base as well. So Admiral Byrd was right. All the technology and research is the #1 place in the world for technology research is right down there in Antarctica. I believe that as the ice is melting, they're finding remnants of an ancient civilization. We know that Antarctica was not a frozen tundra for 12 million years, like mainstream science says 12 million years to build up all this ice. No, that's not accurate. We know this because of the Perry-Reese map. The Perry-Reese map shows Antarctica what it looked like without ice on it, and that's not even that old. So we know that Antarctica shifted into that spot. How? Because we know that Antarctica is surrounded by tectonic plates. And so that landmass was on a plate that slipped and there was something called a pole shift of the crust of the Earth, which shifted it from a more habitable climate into the position it is now. And that's why the animals that are being uncovered from the ice were flash frozen with undigested food in their stomachs. And there's an entire advanced civilization there, including some of the largest pyramids on Earth, right in Antarctica.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, huh? Man, that'll have your head spinning forever. You can go deep into this. We will, of course, do that. Just that. Get the answers, get the opinions, make it interesting. What do you think? If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's see where we're at next.
So here's another video of a lady who captured a face beside the moon. This happened on December 4th, 2023.
It's going to cause you to go out and look up.
Y'all get y'all ass in here and sit down. Now I know y'all sick of me with the moon, but you gotta see this. Okay, from the naked eye, there's nothing but the moon in that street light.
Right.
But when I zoom in, look next to the moon.
I see it.
What?
I see the face. Looks like a skull or an alien head.
I know y'all see that damn face.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
Please tell me somebody else can see this.
So a lot of people are saying it's Project Bluebeam. Comment below what you think it is. I posted some other videos about this, some other videos today.
Tell me somebody else sees that. Holy shit.
Excuse the bad language.
My God, look at this shit. Coco, you gotta see this shit, girl.
Check it out, Coco.
Girl, look at this shit.
Coco said,
I know
give me
y'all
what
sick
you
of me,
got.
but please tell me, is my eyes playing fucking tricks on me? Holy shit.
Crazy. You know that's going to have you outside looking up, taking pictures, talking about it. It'll never end. You'll see something, you know everybody's seen something. Looks like a fish, looks like a house, looks like a car. Look at those clouds. You see it all of the time. But do you ever see a face? What do you think?
Hey, y'all definitely gonna want to check this out. So for some reason, I decided to go on the map today and check out the radar because it started raining in Florida out of nowhere after we had a sunny blue day sky. Okay, but look what I found through the map, y'all. First of all, I see all these cold spots happening all over the country. But check this out. I found this over by Montana, Great Falls. Look at this. What is that about?
Man, that's definitely weird.
What is that about? Do you guys see that?
Yeah, what the heck is that?
I've never come across this on the map before. And not to mention all these cold spots that's happening all over the country. The whole United States have this all over it.
Oh yeah, we're in it right now.
But that right there I found very unique. But check this out, you guys. Like the whole United States have these cold little spots everywhere. They're scattered throughout the whole country. And then of course there's rainstorms going up here. There's another huge rainstorm coming to Florida, and it's raining right now. It started pouring hard for 20 minutes and now it's just trickling down, slow down. But I find it ironic how just the United States have this weather anomaly going on, y'all. All the other countries are clear. All the other countries are clear, but just the United States. What is going on, y'all? That's just crazy. So the loud thunders and the rain made me want to check the radar because today we had a beautiful bright sunny day, and out of nowhere all this started coming down. And then surprise, surprise, look at the radar, y'all. So there is something going on in the United States only. In the United States only. You guys seen the map. I just showed you guys it. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during just interesting times. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. The shift is here. I've been telling y'all it's here. Let's get it, y'all. Peace in.
It's crazy, huh?
You guys hear that? You guys hear that? I told you I was in line out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, y'all. What the hell? What the hell? Boy, I tell y'all, man, Florida, hey, yo, it's active, y'all. Y'all better get ready. Y'all bet 2024 is it, baby. Let's get this shit, baby. We here. Let's get it. Peace in.
Oh yeah. Well, we're waiting. We see this every day though up here. It's wet, it's rainy, and right now it is cold. How is it where you are? What are you experiencing? Is it rain? Let's see what's going on somewhere else right now.
Most people are not even aware that there is a consciousness shift happening on the planet right now.
Uh-oh.
There's so many distractions. There's all this stuff happening, crazy stuff happening all over the world. And what happens is when people are in fear and anger, they're much easier to control. They're much less likely to ask deeper questions. They're in survival mode. They're literally worried about their safety and their health. And because of that, what do most people do then? They look to authority. They look to authority to feel safe. They look to authority to tell them what's happening.
And I think they look at their phone these days.
And when people are in that level of consciousness, they are way less powerful. Now, there's a new earth that is coming. Can you feel it? Eckhart Tolle talked about this. He wrote a whole book about it called The New Earth, which has to do with a level of consciousness that is emerging on the planet. And literally, if we do not evolve our level of consciousness, our planet will destroy itself. Let's cross-check this over to what Dolores Cannon talked about in 17 or 19 of her books. And it wasn't even her talking about it. Dolores Cannon was a hypnotherapist for like 40 years. And her books are transcripts from people in a deep level of hypnosis. And tens of thousands of people all over the world have been in this specific healing hypnosis state where their higher self comes through. It's like voice recorded. Many people don't even remember when they come out what they're saying or what they said. They're in like this state of consciousness where their higher self and their subconscious mind comes through to relay all this information. And there's many books written that are just transcribed sessions with people. And interestingly enough, thousands of people from all over the world who have done this kind of hypnosis and their higher self and subconscious mind came through, you want to know what it said? Many times in different ways. We came here to be a part of this shift. The shift in consciousness. We came here to be and to help the planet move into what is called New Earth. A new way of being, a new level of consciousness. And we came here to help that transition happen so that people didn't get left behind. Because in Dolores Cannon's material, what it talks about is this 3D to 5D Earth split. Now, this sounds very esoteric, sounds kind of woo-woo, and there are things we need to realize about this that I want to share because people might get kind of lost in the details of this. But a 3D to 5D Earth split. Let's first off talk about the different elements of 3D to 5D. It's very important to understand this because then you can see where your vibration is laying, because whatever your vibration is in, that is the reality you are experiencing. And what it says in the Dolores Cannon material is that there's these two levels of consciousnesses that will be on the planet for a period of time. But then eventually what will happen is these levels of consciousness will begin to shift. And with it, there will be an energy split that happens, an energetic energy split. I want to make that clear. This is something that also Bashar has talked about, who's been around for almost 40 years, channeling very similar material and energy. And what he talks about is how you want to be on the train track you want to be on, because as the years continue to progress, because things are evolving in consciousness, the track that you are on with the train track, it's like you're leaving a station. And what happens is eventually they're going to be splitting all these different tracks. And what happens is for a period of time, which is what we're in right now, you have the ability to look at the other train tracks to see what's happening. You can see. It's almost like there's a glass wall that you can look and observe. But what he says is similar to what Dolores Cannon says, is that as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to jump from train track to train track or to even see what's going on. It's literally as if your frequency shifts and then you just cannot perceive of the old vibration anymore, of the old earth anymore, if you're on the new earth. And vice versa, if you're trapped in the energies of what is called 3D, which is kind of being asleep in the illusion of duality, of separation. If you think of 3D and 5D Earth, think of it like 3D is that of separation, duality, good, bad, light, dark, fear, anger, being stuck in a form of victimization, being stuck in they're doing this to us, or they're doing this to me, stuck in the old patterns, angry, it's the government's fault, buying into the media. These are all very common things, the social conditioning of the third dimension level of consciousness. Now, what it talks about in that of Dolores Cannon, Eckhart Tolle even, Bashar, and even also the Law of One, which are considered some of the most profound channelings of our time, talks about this same split, this same type of energy. And it's called the harvest. The harvest is where it's happening right now. There's a harvesting of energy within every one of our bodies of consciousness that we have the potential to sprout. And there will be this option to literally upgrade to a higher level of consciousness in our life. Now, 5D is more about understanding connection to each other. Unity. What we put out is what you put out is what you get back. That we're all in this together. When you think of 5D, it's also like we're having the courage to do the shadow work, to take ownership and responsibility for what's happening, not just blaming everything else happening out there. What can I change within myself?
Well, there's a lot going on here, huh?
Following your passion, your purpose, understanding money in a very different way.
You just have to pay attention.
Living more at unity and at one with the earth. Now, some of these things I'm sharing with you right now, it may seem like a long shot. You're telling me we're going to do this all right now? But the thing is if we don't, we continue to crumble with the old level of consciousness. Now, what it says in Dolores Cannon's material is that back in the 1920s, 1930s, there was an energetic call that was put out through the universe that literally said the earth was like, I'm going to be destroyed. I know this sounds very esoteric, but this is also talked about in the Law of One, and it is also talked about in Dolores Cannon and her material, and even Bashar, and even Eckhart Tolle would probably agree with this too. The earth is a sentient being, and we are cells on it. Macrocosm, microcosm. I know this sounds esoteric for some people, but the earth has chakra points on it. In the Law of One, it's called the logos. There's these different connection to different planetary systems and spheres, and it's all microcosm, macrocosm. So what happens is, on planet Earth, there was a call that was put out in the 1920s, 1930s, when we were experimenting with nuclear bombs. And what happened is it was very clear that the timeline we were on is we were going to destroy ourselves if nothing happened. But then what happened is there was this call that Mother Earth put out, Mother Gaia, whatever name. I know it sounds really weird and esoteric to even say that for some people. But that call that was put out, there were people, beings all over the universe that felt this connection to Earth, that knew it was going to be very hard, that knew they were going to have to forget who they are to remember who they are. And that they came here to go through that process because they wanted to be here during the shift. They call it the shift. This was, once again, through thousands of people that have been in QHHT from Dolores Cannon's technique. So this isn't just like one person said this. Many people, just like you and me, that are in deep level hypnosis would say these things. Came here to be a part of the shift. Came here to be a part of the new earth. And one of the rules of our reality is we must forget who we are to remember who we are. And then we go through a process of redefining who we are and how we choose to show up in the world. Now, the values of the 3D, it's very much about unconsciousness. And that's why what we must do now on the planet is become...
Whew, that just put your brain through a 15-round boxing match there, huh? Had it smacked around in all directions. What do you think of that? There's a lot going on there. A lot happening and a lot to go over. It's a good channel with a lot of information. For us, let's go someplace next.
Wow, y'all. Like, this that I'm about to show you is freaking shocking. Like, from the predictions to the scientists to even what Cal Williams was saying, y'all. Like, wake up, y'all. Wake the fuck up. Because if we don't act and act fast,
bring it on.
Shit is about to go down, y'all. And we're going to be going down the freaking gutter with it.
Okay, straighten us out. What's up?
Listen, my opinion for you guys is take this information and do not leave it.
Okay.
Let's get into these clips. Oh, yeah. And this is for educational purposes only, so don't get any ideas, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
In just 5 years, our lives could turn into a nightmare. Only 5 years. Instead of living a beautiful and prosperous America, we might be living in a sheer hell if we can't even survive such catastrophes. Look at the exponential extensions of the graph of earthquakes with a magnitude greater than 3. See how the number of earthquakes has increased. The increase in their number suggests that their magnitude will also increase. This means that the number of strong earthquakes with magnitude higher than 6 also grows. In just 5 years, earthquakes like the ones we saw in Turkey this year will happen practically every day in different parts of the planet. How many cities do you think will survive? The more earthquakes occur, the more energy is released, and the tectonic plates we live on become more unstable. Consequently, earthquakes will occur more frequently and their intensity will only grow. In that case, we will realize that by that time, the conditions on Earth will be entirely incompatible with human life. Americans, you are intelligent people. Here are your conclusions. As you take in all this information, we know the question arising in your mind. I'll anticipate it by saying that you'll get the answer at the end of our conference. Wait for it, and you'll understand that it was worth it. Now, I would like to ask those present here, what do you know about the extent of destruction that hurricanes can cause?
Well, we know what we see. We know what we hear. We know what we're told. And we know we haven't been able to do anything about it. Happens everywhere. For a lot of people, it's called HARP. And it's just cranked up. What do you think?
And we're all here to tell you the real situation with the climate so that you can understand once and for all.
Put your seatbelt on. You might not.
That's a situation humanity is in right now has never occurred in the planet's entire history.
Be ready to hear this. If you have an emotional pet, get them close. This might be for you. This might be what that's for. You never know. Well, some people probably know.
The latest predictions from The Simpsons for 2024 are genuinely eerie. This one is absolutely disturbing. In season 24, episode 9, Homer Simpson is preparing a bunker fully stocked with provisions for his family, anticipating something dreadful on the horizon. Shortly after, a solar superstorm strikes Springfield, a silent, invisible tempest sweeping through the town, causing severe consequences. This catastrophic event leads to a complete shutdown. No internet, no electricity, everything comes to a standstill. A solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks or even months or even forever. The portrayal of a solar superstorm in the episode aligns with the potential real-world impact such an event could have. Interestingly, NASA has recently made a shocking discovery, a massive hole in the sun called the Coronal Hole. This hole, large enough to engulf 60 Earth-sized planets, is currently releasing solar storms at a staggering speed of 1.8 million miles per hour and could be headed to Earth fast. The last time the Earth experienced such a storm was in 1859. It was known as the Carrington Event. The 2024 solar storm is predicted to be 60 times more powerful than the 1859 solar storm, possibly the strongest ever recorded in history. Such solar storms can have catastrophic effects on Earth, affecting satellite power grids, GPS, and potentially wiping out hard drives and the entire internet permanently. Might take decades for us to recover. It's only a matter of time.
Investigation reveals that Mark Zuckerberg is creating a massive underground bunker worth $100 million in Hawaii. This is something that needs to be talked about, especially after Leave the World Behind came out, and the features on this house or underground bunker is absolutely wild. So years ago, he bought a massive plot of land that could fit 500 football fields worth $170 million. The land plus the construction makes it the largest private project ever. Property is covered by security guards and large walls so no one can see what's being built, and all the workers are signed to an NDA, which is almost unheard of. Now let's get to the features. It will have 12 buildings and 30 bedrooms and bathrooms with 2 mansions that are connected by an underground tunnel that branches into an underground bunker. It's going to have its own energy, food, and water supply, a living space, a mechanical room, and an escape hatch that can be reached by a ladder. It'll be soundproof, they'll have blind doors that are operated by keypads, and it'll be made with metal filled with concrete, which basically makes it indestructible. The real question is, does Zuckerberg and all these other billionaires making bunkers know that something is coming, or are they just preparing for the worst?
What he building a $270 million bunker? What do he know that we don't know, Cat?
Well, they're just worried.
Kim Jong-un? What? I don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Do you understand that people that are not very bright are in charge of nuclear bombs all across the country?
Well, yeah, we know
That's
that.
what he knows. he knows that 30% of all weapons systems are running off regular Wi-Fi.
Yeah, look who's in charge of stuff in the
So what
U.S.
does that mean? That means if a solar flare or a meteor hits either one of those, literally a bomb can go off just because the system accidentally got turned off.
Ooh, that's hard.
That's what he knows. The people that are in power know that the people that are running the most complicated and deadliest things on the planet
But the regular people don't know.
are just an average idiot.
They'll find out, though.
And you know lots of idiots.
I do.
Yep. And these people are not special. Back in the day they were.
Yeah.
Not today.
If you don't know idiots, go to Walmart.
2024 is going to be very chaotic. It's going to be weird. There's some weird movies coming out. How many guys saw the recent movie Leave the World Behind? Anybody saw that movie there? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know all these. What are you? Am I watching a movie or is this a documentary realistic thing? And then I'm seeing Mark Zuckerberg just spent $100 million building a house in Hawaii with a nuclear bunker. What does he know that the rest of the world doesn't know about? Talk about the timing. Oh, accidentally, coincidentally, a week after that movie comes out, a new movie comes out. What's the name of that movie? Civil War. Leave the world behind. Our power grid in America hasn't been updated. 75% of it hasn't been updated in 50 years. And you're kind of talking about that. Then you're pitting whites against blacks. There's a line in the movie that says, Dad, you know if something goes down, we can't trust these white people. I know that's something both you and Mom agree on. Why do you put that line in the movie, Barack? And you were helping with the script. Why would you put that in the movie? Why would you put that in the movie? Barack, weren't you the same guy that gave a talk at the DNC in 2004 about bringing people together? What happened to that guy?
Yeah, none of that exists. There's no togetherness. You are on your own. Look out for yourself. Look out for your family. That's the only thing you can do. Get on with life. Well, avoid mainstream media. There you go. That's a great start for anybody. What's going on now? Here we go.
In the following video, a babysitter is looking after a girl who in the video can be seen playing with her toys.
What you doing over there? Nice.
The reason for filming this video is because it was just earlier that the 5-year-old had said something very creepy to the babysitter. He films this video to record what she said. Take a look.
Uh-oh.
What was it that you told me earlier about your doll?
When I play hide and seek with my doll, it moves.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
That doll? This doll?
Yeah.
You said it moves?
Creep factor just went up.
Like you move it, or?
It's still going up.
Wait, what? When does it move?
When I play hide and seek with her.
When you play hide and seek?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's coming now. We're gonna see some hide and seek. But are we gonna see some movement?
This creepy looking doll apparently comes to life when you play with it. But according to the child, it only moves if you play hide and seek with it. Now the child is only 5, so it could be that she was speaking from her imagination. But this notion didn't stop the babysitter from seeing if it was true. Curious to see if the doll actually moves, the babysitter plays a game of hide and seek. As he plays, he records it.
I'm 10.
We're playing hide and seek.
Oh yeah, here it comes. What's it gonna do? Walk? Is it gonna move?
Oh my god! Sadie, you scared me. Don't do that, dude.
Although quite a jump scare, the sitter would much rather be scared by a dog than a haunted doll. Thankfully, as he says, it didn't move. Now while it may seem that nothing unusual occurred during this night, something happens later that scares the sitter to his core. According to him, the 5-year-old had just been put to bed when suddenly he sees this.
Oh, come on. There was nothing there. Well, jump scare was good. Got a lot of people. But we didn't see that doll move. That was what it was about, man. Come on now. You gotta put it there. Don't leave them hanging. Don't leave us hanging. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for joining us here. Hit that like button, subscribe button, turn your notifications on. We'll let you know when we drop another one. Till then, have a great day.